Oh God, I gotta go see Morbius.
Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes gravity. Choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up. Daddies, he know he won't have it. He knows his whole back to these ropes. It don't matter. He's dope. He knows that, but he's broke. He's so stagnant. He knows when he goes back to this mobile home. That's when it's back to the lab again.
Don't mind me, just enjoying my last few hours in a pre-Morbius world. It is 12:28, which means I should probably get going because the movie starts in a little over a half hour and I still got to drive to the theater. If any of you guys are wondering why I'm doing this ungodly, unspeakable act, it's because I told my Twitch chat that if we hit 64 subs by the end of Tuesday's stream, that I would go and see Morbius. And coincidentally, today is the last day it's playing in theaters. And this is after, like, the return run. So if you guys don't know the Morbius lore, the movie came out, sucked fucking dick. I never saw it, but I can already tell. And then because of all the memes, they decided to bring it back into theaters, and it bombed again. So Morbius is one of the few movies that actually bombed in theaters 2 times, and I am going to see it. I will be shocked if there's anybody else in the theater. Actually, in fact, while you guys are watching this live on Twitch, I'm going to make a poll. Do you guys think there will be anybody else in the theater but me? At the time of recording this, I obviously don't know, but I'll give you guys a minute to vote, I guess, in the chat. So, hi Sunday stream, or if you're watching this on YouTube, hi whenever you're watching this. But I gotta get going. God forbid I missed the part where he fucking morbs. Yeah, Zach, cool, it's my day off. It's raining, it's downpouring, at least I don't gotta go anywhere. Psych, I gotta go see Morbius. Hell yeah, man. When I recorded the last part, I didn't even know it was raining, and then I opened my door, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm taking this off, though, because it's also one of those rains, it's like it's hot. Perfect day for Morbius. Awesome. Totally wouldn't rather be in my room playing Kirby or whatever bullshit. Okay, wait, DMCA. Alright, looks like we're here. And about a minute late. Well, who cares? It's gonna be previews and shit anyway. I don't think you guys actually care for the story. You just wanted to torture me. The rain did die down a bit though, so that's pretty good. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna wear my sweatshirt. But yeah, we don't really have much time, so let's get on in here really quick. And yeah, luckily the rain let up, but knowing my luck, as soon as the movie's out, it's gonna downpour, so I'm gonna bring my sweatshirt anyways. And then let's head on into the theater, shall we?
Theater 10 down this hallway on the right hand side.
You got it, thanks man. Alright, we're in. Theater 10. I don't know if you guys can hear me. There it is. Moment of truth. Is there anybody else in here? Let's find out.
Together or separate? If you get this wrong, there'll be no second date. No second date, you end up alone.
Surprise, surprise, I'm the only one here. Alright, let's get my seats. Well, chat, looks like I have the entire theater to myself. So those of you guys who thought there was going to be anybody else, you just lost. Not a single person here but me. There you go. So, without running the risk of filming the movie, I think this is where we part our separate ways, and when I come back with my thoughts with Morbius, it's going to be a long 2 hours, so luckily you guys don't have to sit through it. For you, it'll be a blink of an eye. But I'll catch you guys back after the end of the movie. Alright, wish me luck, guys. Wish me luck.
2 hours later.
Well, chat, I did it. I survived seeing Morbius. Oh my gosh. I was going to record the review portion at home, but I decided it'd be better while the movie's still fresh in my head. It just got done. And let me just tell you, that was one of the longest 2 hours of my life. I'm not going to go over everything. I'm not a movie reviewer, but this is just for you guys who wanted to see it. So, where do I fucking start with this movie? Okay, let's get the bad out of the way, because surprisingly there were some positives, because my expectations were about as low as you can get. First off, pacing is just complete shit. And the probably the biggest issue with the whole movie was the villain. So it starts off, Morbius is getting all these bats for something. I don't want to do a whole synopsis of the movie, but pretty much Morbius is sick. He was sick ever since he had a kid. He had some disease, couldn't walk right, some bullshit. And he grew up with this friend that also had the same disease as him, and he promised him, he's like, when I grow up, I'm going to cure us. And they always just do this, like, they're setting up the fact that Morbius's friends, I don't even remember his name, Milo? I don't even think that was his real name. I think his name was Lucius, but then he called him Milo. I don't really understand why. Originally called him Morbius's brother. They're not blood related, but whatever. So Morbius's brother, they do this thing in movies where like people always act unnaturally bad. I don't know if you guys like know this. It's like a pretty common thing that a lot of movies unfortunately do, where like characters act unrealistically evil. And you get a scene like this just right at the beginning of the movie, which is the first red flag that I saw. And pretty much they're just kids. They're just normal kids with like diseases in like a hospital. But of course they have to have like the bullies. And like, I want to know where the fuck they live. Where like random kids, like, I don't know, elementary, middle school, let's just say middle school age. Where middle school age kids just like beat up crippled kids for no reason. Like, where does this happen? Because there's a scene where the Morbius's brother is reading a letter, and then the wind takes it out the window, and then he's like getting his crutches, and he's hobbling over like Tiny Tim, leaving. I guess nobody, there's no security or nobody watching, no parental guardians watching. They could just allow kids just to leave the hospital. So he starts just like hobbling over. He's like, could I have my letter back, please? And the kid's like, what the fuck? You think it's okay to leave your house, cripple? And they just punch him, and then they start stomping on him. He's like, why can't you walk on two legs? What's wrong, dude? What, your legs are broken? I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this is not how people act, dude. The kids just don't like fucking dogpile a kid because he couldn't walk. The kid didn't even do anything. But I'm not going to linger on that too much. So fast forward, Morbius doing experiments. He injects himself with the Morb serum, goes crazy. Another thing I don't understand about this movie is how just they like try to portray him as the hero. And I know a lot of people like, he's an anti-hero. No, he's just a villain. Soon as he turns into Morbius, the first thing he does is he kills 5 mercenaries. And the movie tries to sweep it under the rug by saying, those guys were probably not good. They're mercenaries. They probably did crimes. I guess it's just okay to kill people if you think that they're just likely. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Like, the first guy Morbius kills, he like rips off his neck and like sucks his blood and beats his ass. And I guess the movie tries to make it okay because the guy made like one sexist remark to one of the female characters. There's a female doctor in the movie that's like Morbius's love interest, and he calls her a nurse, and she's like, excuse me, it's doctor. And he's like, yeah, whatever. And so I guess that's all it takes. I guess, like, yeah, hey, I'm not a fan of sexism either, but I definitely don't think that, like, calling a doctor a nurse means it's, like, morally justifiable to, like, rip his neck out and kill him. And then the other guys, they just kill him when Morbius rips out his eyeball. But, like, the movie's just like, they were probably bad guys. And it's just like, no, it's not the same thing as Venom. Venom was actually, like, killing. He didn't even kill that many people. And the people that he did kill were, like, actual criminals and shit. And then there's another scene in the movie, speaking of Venom, there's another scene in the movie that is so cringe, where Morbius is like talking about finding his brother, because his brother's the villain, because his brother's going ape shit. And he's talking in a cafe with his girlfriend or whatever, Morbius's girlfriend, and these two guys come in and they try to pay with a fake $100 bill. I'm like, this is so funny, because if you guys were watching my stream, I was talking about how at my job, somebody came in and paid with a fake $100 bill, and we took it. But that, whatever. More of that story later. But so these guys pay with a counterfeit, and then the lady's like, I can't accept this. This isn't real. So the guy pulls out a second counterfeit 100, and he's like, there's more where that came from. And then the lady takes it. What the fuck? That's the dumbest shit I ever see. Is like, how are you going to bribe somebody with counterfeit money to accept counterfeit money? Like, people could be like, well, she was just, like, scared of them. You're in a cafe. They didn't have any weapons. He had, like, a pocket knife that's, like, the size of a toothpick. And then Morbius is like, there's morbin to be done. He didn't really say that. Unfortunately, if you guys were wondering, never once does he say it's morbin time. He never says, I'm going to morb. Just wanted to clarify that. That line of dialogue is never spoken in the movie. I was waiting the whole time for it. But there was something equally as cringy coming up. There's something way more cringy than It's Morbid Time. Morbius sees these two guys walking, and he follows them back to their hideout, their lair. I guess they just have like a counterfeit factory just in the middle of the street. And he follows them, and this is what he says, like verbatim. I'm not even making shit up. He walks downstairs in his hoodie. He looks like a fucking murderer. And he's just like, I guess this is the part of the movie where the hooded man beats everyone's ass. And I'm like, that is so cringe, dude. And then the guy's like, who the fuck are you? And he like tries to punch Morbius, and Morbius grabs his hand, and it's because, hey guys, did you know that Morbius is a doctor? He's like, did you know that the human hand has 32 bones? There's this one, the fibia, the pinky. Oh yeah, then he says, he's like, the fibia, the thumb tendon, and he's like, and the stinky pinky. I'm like, wow, what a way to drive home the fact that he's a doctor. And then, this is the part that was even the most cringe. So the guy has his hand broken, and he's like, who are you? And Morbius unironically looks at the camera and he's like, I am Venom. How the fuck would Morbius know who Venom is? And who is he making this joke for? It's a guy alone. It was just so cringe, dude. He's just like, I'm Venom. And like, he doesn't correct it. And the guy's just looking at him like, what? And then he breaks his arm. And then I was like, all of this because they counterfeited $200 bills? All this guy did was counterfeit money, which, yes, is a crime. But when you consider the fact that Morbius killed 5 people, it's way worse. Ripping out people's eyes, cutting off their arms, slitting their throat, drinking their blood. To me, that is way fucking worse. But surprisingly, Morbius's brother is even worse. Morbius's brother's like the biggest edgelord. He's pretty much just like, I was bullied as a kid and girls don't like me, so now I'm gonna kill everybody. So he just kills people for fun, and he's like, this is cool. He's like, what the fuck? And like, he kills like 7 police officers, and Morbius is like, dude, why did you kill those 7 innocent police officers? And Morbius's brother's just like, we had to live our whole lives sick and dying. It's about time they know how it feels. It's like, these people didn't even know who the fuck you were. They clocked in today. We're like, yep, time to go to my 9 to 5, support my family. And they see 2 vampires flying around the subway station. And then the guy just kills them all. Like, they did not do anything wrong. And the guy's just like, and then there's like a scene where he's trying to hit on this girl at the bar. And the guy's like, dude, quit talking to my girl. And he's like touching his girl. And then he's like, can you get the fuck out of here? He's like, this is my girlfriend. What are you doing? And then he kills the guy. I'm like, what the fuck? That was his girlfriend. You're the one hitting on her and touching her. It wasn't like the guy was... Okay, the guy was like a little bit of an asshole to him. He's like, how about you get the fuck out of here, pal? Yeah, he was an asshole, but did he deserve to die? No. Morbius' brother just comes on and starts hitting on people's girls and then killing them. I'm like, what the fuck? It's just like... And then... It's just like so much edgelord shit. And then at the end was, oh my god, dude, it didn't even make any sense. So Morbius kills his brother, and then his girlfriend dies, but he drinks his girlfriend's blood to get power because Morbius gets power from blood. So the more blood he drinks, he gets more powerful. So he drinks his girlfriend's blood because she was dying anyways, because Morbius's brother like cut her throat. She was bleeding out. And she's like, before I die, Morbius, drink my blood for power. He's like, okay. He's like, oh yeah. And he's like going nuts and they're fighting and shit. And then she dies. But then at the end, she wakes up with powers. And it's just like, why did she get powers? The only way people become Morbius people is if they take a DNA serum. It's not like a vampire where if a vampire bites you, you become a vampire. Because what about all the other people that got bit? Thousands of people got bit in this fucking movie. None of them turned into vampires. So why the fuck at the end did Morbius' girlfriend turn into a vampire? And then I don't know if he was going to go fight her, but then the credits rolled. And then nonsensical shit happens. The Vulture from Spider-Man teleports. And then the news is like, yes, today on the news, a guy teleported into the world. And then people are like, what the fuck? Because I guess a portal opened up and he's like, comes in here. And then at the end, he's just like, he puts on a mask and he meets with Morbius in this field. And the Vulture's like, hey man, he's like, I don't know what's going on, but I think that there's a guy named Spider-Man to blame. We should team up and fight him. And Morbius is like, I'm listening. Data shouldn't even know who the fuck Spider-Man is, right? I don't even understand what's going on. Like, is this the same world as Venom? But Venom didn't know who Spider-Man was till he went to the Mars. It's just a fucking mess, dude. The movie was shit. But I'm not all negative because I will say that the fight scenes were actually good. The best thing that you could do to experience Morbius is just to watch like an AMV fight montage of all the fights in this movie with like anime music on in the background, or like Anarchy Reigns music. Like the final fight was really cool. There was like thousands of bats and he was doing like a big bat punch, and it sounds stupid, but it was like watching like dumb anime shit. It was just two vampire guys flying through the air like Super Saiyans, smashing each other into buildings, and it didn't look cheesy. I was like, what the hell? I was like, this is some really good fight animation. So that's like the one highlight, was like the CGI and the fights were really cool. I would say that I liked it better than like Thor: The Dark Worlds and definitely better than all the new Star Wars movies. Like, unironically, Morbius was better than Star Wars Episode 7, 8, 9. Better than like the Jurassic World movies. So this is far from the worst movie I've ever seen. Still not good, but I would say Morbius, 5 out of 10. I think that it was a nothing movie. I wasn't like, wow, that was a waste of my time, but it sure as fuck wasn't good. I could have not seen the movie and my life would be equal. It's not that it was worse or better, so I think a solid 5 out of 10 is what I would give Morbius for my movie review. But I think that this video has gone on long enough. Thanks for watching, guys. Shout outs to Dayron for gifting those subs, helping us hit the 64 sub goal. Today was the last day it was in theaters, so I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you guys like this style of content, let me know. I could do more reviews, whether it's movie or food reviews or something. And maybe I could get better at editing and making it short form, because I do have a tendency to ramble on too long. But thanks for watching. That was my Morbius review, and feel free to check out some more of our content. Stay morbid, brothers.